Right, we're hitting the infield at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. We're looking up on the very rare Tailgator species, and we've got this gentleman named Ludwig. We don't know if he's related to the drum company or not. We're not sure, but I like him because that's his last name anyways. Now tell us, Chris, what's the story this weekend? We hear you're filling in Big Dog.
Yeah, giving it a shot anyways. We'll see what we can do.
Are you pretty pumped up? We know you spent a little bit of seat time at Bigfoot a couple years ago. They definitely said you had some potential, so you got to be excited. You're behind the wheel of another Big Four tonight.
Yes, sir. Very excited. Very pumped about the situation.
What do you think tonight in racing? It's going to be pretty tricky on the asphalt here. Is Duggo giving you some good pointers, or what's the story there?
Oh, yeah, he's full of them. He's got some good pointers.
Well, you said he's full of them. Now, is he full of pointers, or... You know, we're familiar with Doug here on TMB. You can't pull anything past us here. But, Doug, what do you think tonight? It was a pretty tricky racetrack out there last night at Bitmark Hall, pretty hard. We talked about that earlier. Right. What are you thinking tonight in the Gator?
Just get out here and do what we did last night. I mean, it's the start is the biggest tricky thing here, you know, getting this thing going, because they like to walk around, and then once they hook, then we're going for that ride. So looking forward to it.
We were checking out the lanes a little bit earlier, and we noticed the right lane has a little disparity from the left lane. The asphalt actually dips down a little, like there's a drain over there. Is that unevenness between the lanes going to throw you off any, or is it just hang on, give her hell, and see what you can do?
I'm with your last comment. No, I think we got more problems than a dip in the asphalt, to be honest. But no, once you get going, you know, in a good straight line here, that's the key, is keeping this thing straight through there, or it'll get a handful like Mark had last night. I mean, it was pretty hairy. I'm glad he's all right and didn't really tear the truck up real bad. So, are you guys going to be leaving in second gear tonight? Are you going to try anything different? Or are you going to try and pop out of first? I mean, I've tried the second gear thing, and it doesn't seem to help. You know, we'll probably leave in first and hit that second gear and kind of feather it, get this thing to hook up into something, and then we'll let it have it.
All right. Well, you heard it from Doug Nelke and Chris Ludwig right here. They're going to try their best tonight. Chris, a lot of pressure on him. We're going to see what he can do. We'll be cheering him on. And, of course, Doug, always a threat to win in racing. And, hey, we're looking for some tailgate dragon wheelies tonight. Don't let us down, all right? All right. You got it from here. Today in monster truck racing, it's almost rare to see an accident happen during racing. It seems like we see a lot of crashes in freestyle, but unfortunately, it happened last night in racing. We're standing here with Mark Hall. Mark, you were the victim last night, buddy. That's kind of rough. Tell us about what happened out there.
Well, you know, Jeremy and I were in the final, and you know, Jeremy runs hard, and we like to put on a good race. There's no team orders here or anything. We just run them heads up. And, you know, I started off all right, and, you know, I came over, it left pretty good. You know, for this asphalt, it leaves so violent. You know, it spins the wheels so violent. And it left okay, but somewhere between the first jump and the second one, I got a little bit out of whack, and I hit the second jump, and I think, in fact, I may even miss the second jump there with two front wheels. So I guess really at that point my race was over. And but I thought, well, you know, I'll try to get it back in there and finish, you know, and then it seemed like for whatever reason it went from one side to the other in a split second, and I hit the car jump with a way out of whack, and it jumped over to the driver's side real bad, landed on the driver's side, and I thought I had it saved for just a second, and then it just whipped back the other way and flipped over the opposite the other ways there. So I don't know. I tell you, that was one of the hardest hits I've ever taken. That was a nasty deal, but you know, I will say I think. You know, on deals like that, you know, the next morning, boy, your neck will hurt something fierce. But I think the seats and all that stuff kind of did what they were designed to do, and that made a big difference. I'm in pretty good shape today. I was really surprised.
That's interesting you mentioned the seats. When we did TMB TV in St. Louis earlier in the summer, we actually used Raminator to showcase some of the safety features, including the seat. So tell us, what would have an old seat left you feeling versus these newer aluminum ones like you have now?
Well, you know, the biggest thing is the headrest in there, and you know, we're using the old style seat. You know, we wear the Hans and all that stuff. And the Hans, you know, works real good front to back. You know, that's what it's kind of designed for when your head goes forward and stuff. But it doesn't do anything side to side. And on a deal like that, you know, you kind of get that side to side kind of slap. And I've even had those where, you know, my helmet's kind of pinched me between the helmet and the Hans, you know, and that kind of hurts. So with the headrest and stuff in there, it kind of, you know, just your head stays right there where it's supposed to be, and your neck doesn't stretch out way far. And actually, you know, like I say, I would have thought I'd been pretty sore today, but shoot, I'm in pretty good shape, so I'm good to go.
All right, now you're in pretty good shape. What about the truck? What kind of damage did the truck sustain, and you'll be ready to rock tonight?
Oh yeah, we're good to go. You know, of course, it tore the body up pretty good on it. And the back bed support, you know, body mount, it tore that up pretty good, and we pushed it back with a porta power. For the most part, that was kind of it. I smashed up a wheel real bad, and I wanted to use the same tires and stuff. I had a spare. We could have put that on, but Jerry Wickenhauser was coming over, one of our crew guys is coming over, and so he stopped by the shop and picked up another wheel. So we switched that out so I could use my same tires. I wanted to use that pair of tires. And so other than that, the wheel was pretty bad. The roll cage held up really, really well for as hard a hit as it was. Maybe it may have bowed to one tube just a hair bit, but it didn't smash any tubes flat or anything like that. So, we had a couple guys look at it and think, give them their opinion what we thought, and I think we're good to go with it. So we're gonna run with it. We had the number 4 truck at home. They're ready to go for this, just in case something happened. But this one wasn't too bad, so we just repaired this one, and like I say, it's back 100%. We're good to go.
All right, now as far as the racetrack goes, what are your thoughts? How are you going to approach the track tonight? It doesn't look like there's much to work out there in the parking lot.
Yeah, it's that dirt to asphalt and all that sort of thing. That a little bit of dirt gets thrown out on that asphalt, and it makes it really, really slick. And like I say, when it takes off so violent inside the cab. I mean, it's just spinning the wheels like you wouldn't believe. And so you got to kind of pedal it and kind of work with it, finesse it down the track. And I was watching the videotapes, and I even made the comment, "Good grief, that looks easy." It just looks like you're driving down through there. But boy, when you're in there, you're wrestling it around. It's wanting to go every which way. But I don't know. I think that was maybe just a bad bounce or something, and hopefully we won't get that tonight, and it'll go down the track like it did the other rounds, where, like I say, we was definitely in there working, but it wasn't too terribly bad. So we'll just kind of have to deal with it a little bit. We kind of messed with some gearing and stuff, and maybe try that a little bit, maybe switch that up a little bit, and maybe we can get it to leave a little easier, and maybe not spin the wheels so much, but. I don't know. We'll see. We made some changes, and hopefully we went the right way.
Speaking of variables, as if the track didn't have enough, we just saw the crew drag out the truck covers. We see rain possibly on the horizon. What's that going to do for the track?
Oh, that'll really mess things up. You get that wet asphalt out there. That's really gonna change things up. And yeah, we called home just a little bit ago, and we're only 2 hours from here. And it was raining at home, so it's headed this way. And I. Hopefully it'll split up and go around us or something, because we don't need that. It seems like, although it seems like Indy, you always get at least one day of rain, but hopefully it'll miss us and we'll be good to go.
All right, well, we're going to let Mark get back to work right here. I tell you what, we're going to ask you one more thing, though. We've been asking the drivers about the MTRA situation. Everybody's talking about right now. They're trying to turn things around. What's the driver's opinion on that? We hear from the board of directors, and of course we hear from all kinds of fans, but what about, as a driver, how do you feel the MTRA needs to progress?
Well, I try not to get too much into the politics side of it, and I just, I kind of listen to what people say, and I don't really read much on the internet or anything like that. I kind of listen to what folks out here are saying, and I listen to what Tim, being MTRA president, he talks a little bit about and tells me what's going on and stuff. But I know they had a meeting here on Thursday, and I thought, I wonder if that's going to be a big argument deal or what. And Tim said absolutely not. It was very good. Everybody got along really good, and it was a really, really good meeting. And he said, I think nothing but good came out of it. And so I think it's going to be exciting. I think they're going to get some. I think they're going to make some changes, and it's going to be to better the sport. And I think it's going to be good. It's going to be interesting to see, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's only good things to come.
All right, well, that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens on track tonight. And with the MTRA, Mark, we wish you the best of luck tonight, and keep those wheels on the ground on the Big Red Dodge. Absolutely. That's all from the Raminator pits.